period. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holler if you really feeling this. Gotta holler if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holler if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another villain. How you just sitting there chilling?
You've been running around, telling me on your mind. Nothing like you feel it. Never gave it to you once, but you beg your price. I know your reason. Nothing's a thing that you want to time. But you are not to the places. You could be the next one in a million times. Answer the question. Even your eyes, you should golden changes past your mind. It's calling you. Tell me how do you need it? Do you want it? Can you feel it? Everything you want to say. Everything you need it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to thank you all so much for coming on to this beautiful podcast and checking me out again. Remember, like, share, subscribe to everything that you like. I love feedback. You guys are very, very vocal on TikTok. And when I say very, very vocal on TikTok, there's sometimes that y'all want to tell me that I'm out of my effing mind. And that is all fucking K with me. You can say whatever you want. But it's my opinion. It's my opinion. So, I mean, look, if the comment section gets lit, thank you so much because you're helping me get more viral. So that's the way I see it. So I don't take nothing to heart. A lot of people ask me, especially when I spoke to the Sabi, oh, what is wrong with you and all stuff like that. Oh, your priest's probably mad. That's why he's not replying. No. I'm happy that y'all are having a conversation. I'm gonna do an episode on that thread. So because that thread was crazy, bro. But without further ado, that song that you just heard was from one of my good friends, Finn, and this is a treat for today, ladies and gentlemen. Very good treat. They are so incredible. They're a producer, freaking just music prodigy. I can't even I put recording artists, but they do all types. They do all types. So I want y'all to like, share, subscribe. If you in Connecticut or never been to Connecticut and never heard of this artist, check them out because you are going to have a treat. So without further ado, everyone, Finn, how's it going, Finn?
How's it going? No, that was like the best intro ever given. Like, thank you.
Right.
Oh man. Yeah. But like it's hanging, bro. Like I feel like a god at this point. I was like, can you do all of my intros now? Like, that's what I need in the morning as an affirmation. Like, yo.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had the privilege as a learning percussionist to sit on the stage with you and see everything that you could do, jam sessions, all the shebang. I'm still like so happy about the fact that you headlined one of my job shows with Life of My Days, and people still talk about you that was at that show. They still mention, they're like, oh, is Finn still doing it? Like, is Finn still doing it? You should check out their page. Here's the Instagram. Like, is Finn still doing it? They out here.
Right. Nah, but like, listen, I'd be mad reclusive. I'll go and hibernate for a good 6 months to a year, and then be like, "Yo, what's up?" You know? Yeah,
Right.
like honestly, because you went to RCA, and like,
Yeah, yes, I did. Yep.
literally, my nickname was "Where's Phoenicia-Henry?" And like, because like I would ghost, like just naturally just ghost. I don't understand how I do it. Like I don't even know I do it. I just will flutter away into the abyss and never return until like I'm needed. You know?
But
But
like
like
you
yeah,
said, it's helpful, just taking
right,
that time to yourself. Like that's a process that I'm
right.
dealing with right now.
Yeah, I feel like though it's like the strongest form of self-love. Like
Mm,
I truly 100% believe that shit. Like I think for me, I came up and like grew up in a very giving household, like where the expectation, like your foundation of love was to give, to be selfless.
mhm.
And so like, like sometimes it's like, that's, I think it's sometimes a little too toxic to just continue to give, because what you don't realize is that like you end up running on empty, you know? And like, then you're trying to figure out why the fuck you're stressed, like what's happening
Right.
in your life, like why, like you're just like, yo, what the fuck? Why is the world is crazy? And it's like, no, I have like nothing else in me to process anything, to give to anyone, to just do anything. And
Hmm.
so to me, that's like the strongest form of love, because the world puts it out there that like you must always give. And like, yes, you should, but you should
Right.
always like take what you need. Like you need to take that time to yourself. You need to do whatever you need to do to recharge, to do you, to give to yourself, because you're the priority. Like if you're not here, you can't do anything else, like, so I don't
Yeah,
know. Oof.
definitely. No, I agree. It's so important to take care of yourself, and that is something
Mhm.
that I realized that I haven't really focused as much on.
Mhm.
Especially just being just outside, being an organizer, and then all this stuff like that. Like
Right.
you gotta like take care of yourself, and you can't always give, and it's okay to not want to. It's okay to want to stay away for a little bit. You have to
Mhm.
just not feel like it's not okay, because there's so much going on, and at the end of the day, it's not in your control. I'm just saying of how what I understand, of
Mhm.
I'm being such an introverty, and it's kind of not helping with my partner, because she's introverty as fuck too. So,
Yeah,
but
I get that shit though. So then y'all both be in the house mad quiet.
COVID,
Y'all forget
man.
each other's name. Yeah. Nah,
COVID
I
is
get that.
just, yeah,
Yo,
COVID is just,
COVID, like, it changed everybody, man. Like, COVID either, I don't know, like, it either made people really happy or like really upset, but it was just, it made shit weird. Like, there was just no averaging, like, everyone's on the very, like, introverted spectrum of, like, I found my holy grail in life. Like, it's to just be in. And then, like, other people are just like, no, I realize that my life's purpose is to be out. And so you
Mhm.
just have people on, like, drastic ends. And I think even in partnerships, like, I've seen it happen where, like, relationships will kind of, like, break because of that. It's just, like, you're realizing yourselves, like, it's like the hyperbolic time chamber, bro. Like, COVID was like,
Yeah,
you had to realize yourself in
yeah,
such a short period of time because you were stuck with yourself.
yeah.
And so, like, we're seeing the result of that.
Yeah, yeah, and like especially the term of getting back to normal, as if normal was okay, and
Mhm. Right. Like,
just
it
gave me
wasn't.
anxiety.
Right. Right. But then you see, like, that's the thing. Like, you got people who realize it's just not okay. And so we are, like, out here fighting, like, no, it is not
Right.
okay. And then there are people who are, like, running towards the, like, good old traditional evils of the world. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
and being queer, and being just it just
Right.
seems like they just coming hard on us right now, like especially
Mhm.
for my trans siblings, which I can never understand, because I can't speak for my
Mhm.
trans siblings. I can only center their voices, and there's a lot of less centering
Mhm.
in the mainstream media I'm seeing right now. There's a lot of dictation that is against my trans siblings, and it's just that also makes me want to just like
Mhm.
just stay in
Right.
my bubble.
Right. 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 Like, and I don't sometimes it does get to me because I don't understand how we're regressing this much, bro. Like, they're just and I feel like it's coming out of a place of like fear where like people just, I think COVID really just was like, fuck, like a lot of traditional people are just like, yeah, our world is about to change and like we got to do all this drastic shit or whatever. But like,
Mhm.
I also feel like, how did it not show you that like all of us, like deserve like the same entire like beautiful life that's
Right.
like some of us have, you know what I mean? That like certain people have, and like they're going out of their way. I think even like the ban on just drag and shit like that. It's like, bro, like you guys
Yeah,
are truly doing the most. Like you are going out of your
the
way to
most.
silence people now. Like, and it's like, didn't you not realize like
Yeah,
didn't you realize
yeah.
that like every human fucking being is deserving of a life? Like, did you not realize this? Like, I thought we
That
were
is the
all fighting for
basics.
this, you know?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, but
Right.
there's still a lot of greatness coming out. I would say, especially
Mhm.
within the artist community, and queer art is still thriving. Queer art of all types of genre, all
Mhm.
types of style. We're not getting silent. You're gonna keep seeing it 24/7. And you're talking about how you're getting in your producer bag. um so
You know,
what makes you
shine
want to
out
be
here.
such a
Shine.
producer? You already done such great stuff, like
Yo, bro, like I don't my world changed when I fell into production, bro. Like I swear,
Mhm.
like I fell in love. Like this is now my partner for life. Like
Mm.
ain't no ain't no divorce in this shit. Like this is it. This is my like entire being. Um, but I literally COVID happened. Wait, literally, okay, yes, origin
Okay.
story. Okay, COVID literally happened. Um, and at the time I was Art of Huckleberry is like the band that I prefer to do anything with because that's
Right.
me, that's Avery, Hector, that's Grant. Like those are the people that I, got in this shit
Badasses.
with. Literally, like, and literally, like, I watch like between Grant and his compositions, and like Hector is like a tattoo artist now, and also like just the dopest like basses, and Avery is over here killing like the jazz shit. So it was like, anyways, at that point, we were trying to go for like I think it was not Afropunk, it was some like we tried to go for Afropunk at one point, and then like oh, it
Mhm.
was for Tiny Desk. We were trying to do Tiny
Okay.
Desk. And at that moment, like I got back from New Orleans or whatever. That was when COVID was just like, oh, it was March. It was like COVID was like blossoming into a thing. The world was like frantic. And I was over here like, well, damn, we can't go to the studio anymore to get this shit done. I need to get this shit done. Like, and so I remember, and even before then though, like I was still like teetering with production, but I never was like fully into it. I just had a Max and then I got Logic and whatever.
Mhm.
Um
Great
and so
start.
at that point, right, you know, and so like I ended up like trying to produce our entire like song. And it actually came out fire. And like that was my first like production. And that one's called Lost. It's still on Bandcamp under Art of Huckleberry.
Mhm.
I haven't listened to it since I've learned so many things.
Mhm.
But yeah, so like literally COVID was happening. I couldn't get into a studio. I had to do it myself. And that was it. I was just like, all right. And so I remember being on the phone to heck. My MacBook had came in the day, like ended up like whatever. My MacBook came in the day like the submission was due. And so we're like on the phone or whatever, trying to get this shit done. And like, yeah, that was like the beautiful future like of my production. Or that was like the start of my production. I'm sorry. And like here we are.
So which one do you use right now? Was
Good
it
question.
Oh, do you
so I
still
started
use
on
both?
Logic.
Okay.
I started on Logic. I'll use Logic because like to me it's what I kind of naturally know. So I started on Logic. I now work in Ableton and I'm learning Pro Tools. And like I
Okay,
feel like yeah, so I'm trying to just get those big threes. I also know FL Studios. That's also something that I used to use. And I realized I love Ableton and I love Logic. Those are my preferences. Everything else is like I can get through because at some point you start to realize that all of your like DAWs are very similar. Like once you figure out how to bus, once you figure out how to like get your chain together, like you really don't need anything else. And like that's I don't want to say you don't need anything else. I'm still learning. But for me, I'm pretty good with that because like I'll have my returns and shit. And like I know what I want on my chains. Like and like that's something that I also find beautiful about this past year is that like one of my like professors, I call him Boss Man. He's a dope ass producer. But like he was just like, bro, you gotta like have your templates ready. Like you need to know like if you want to sound as a producer, like what is the equation? What is Finn's equation or whatever? And like that really made me like really make sure I knew how to use every single DAW. If I knew like if I'm going in and I need Pro Tools, all right, I still know that on my chain I want this, this, and this. You know what I mean? I want this EQ, I want this compression, and I want this. And I'm gonna just throw it on there. I already know the formula that I use for a certain sound, and then after that, it's just tweaking. So like that's made me so efficient.
Nice.
Basically, I can use all of them.
Nice. I mean, I get so jealous because I don't know how to produce myself or engineer or anything, and I'm just like, I need to learn it. And I guess I could video edit now. I had to teach myself that, but other than that, like I maybe it'll be the next step because I am at that way as well too, where I'm always writing music, like just writing lyrics and listening to beats and stuff like that. And I'm like, I need to start doing that. Maybe that will get me back into the flow of things and get back to open mics or anything to start performing, you know, because that is so essential. A lot of people don't realize how essential it is and how lucrative it can be as well too. Like, so Snippet was the one that you produced yourself.
I produced. Yeah, the one that you just heard, I produced myself, and then I had Alec mix it. And so like all the sounds that you hear in there are from me. I will say, now he added that there's like, what is it called? I call it a sweep, but I don't know how to explain it outside of that. It's just like a shh or whatever. There are like some like little sound effects that like I love that he adds as a mixer, and it's because he knows me as a friend. He's just like, yo, this is gonna. I know Finn. It's gonna fit Finn. It's gonna be fire or whatever. And that's also him being creative. But yeah, I did all of that. I created. Also something that I learned like is. Oh no, let me not give all the secrets. Everything was me. You know, I will say I created the sample.
Learn himself.
No, because like something that I will say is I'm gonna try to do more of a production series online and on TikTok where like just me like my ADHD is kicking in. I'm gonna go back, but side switching like for me as a non-binary producer, sometimes going into rooms where they have not fully realized that they're misogynist and that they need some like restructuring and stuff like that, you're going to be traumatized. And so sometimes it impacts your learning and puts a barrier. And so like the stuff that like I've learned, I want to put out there for people to learn and feel comfortable learning, you know, and also just start to hold space. I have a physical studio that I want to start, you know, doing stuff out of where like I can like take in, I don't want to say take in, but like show people what I know. And that way, like you're in a comfortable environment and like you're getting hands-on stuff, experience and stuff. But yeah, so
That's no.
but yeah, well,
Honestly, just when you were talking about the not like just like how it's not like inclusive, basically of
yeah,
of 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 trans people, it's a big deal. So
hmm
that's something that we have to unlearn as a culture, and I think it is great that you're thinking about how can I have a space where I can show these things, and it's welcoming to
right.
queer people, because we need that.
No,
Need that. I mean, that was my idea
seriously.
for Life of My Days when I was
Hmm.
being an organizer. I was trying to curate a lot of events that are for LGBTQ
Yeah,
people, because and then a lot of people, they'll get mad. Oh, they got all this stuff. No. What the fuck, we don't. No, we
right.
don't.
Like, and that, like, that's what I like. I really be wanting to tell you that, like, none of us have our shit. None of us have anything together. Like, we are
Yeah.
pulling it together by the skin of our teeth. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm,
literally, it's just like bare bonesing this entire life, you know?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
What was it like opening for Ludacris?
Okay. He was shorter than what I expected. I gotta say that, okay? I was ready to just be like, oh. And then I was like, hello. No, let me not go. Oh man. Yeah, but that like that entire that entire night was like literally amazing. I got to do that, and then like I also was able to do the thing with Ti, and like just shout out to Jahan for putting me on with this, because like I feel like with Jan I would have never met Groove. I would have not gotten these beautiful opportunities, to open for Ti, to open for Ludacris, like if it wasn't for those two people. And like also just like having both of them like trust me with like vocal arrangements or with production stuff, like it's always been like a blessing. But
Oh,
like yeah, those
awesome.
nights it was just it was so amazing. Like it was like literally like just being able to use your gift in front of so many people,
Yeah.
like, and just like be received well, even like through the mistakes, because I feel like both times I messed up, like,
Mm,
and like people still vibed, and then like afterwards, just like being able to like watch Ludacris perform, and like just like yeah, I was on the same stage as that dude. Like he had all his security in the back, so like nobody could touch him, but like it was like also like the VIP section. I was in the same like spaces with these people, and it's not necessarily like the physical things that I was like super excited about. It's the fact that my gift gave me access to this
mm,
moment. That and like that was it. I was like, the physical things are just manifestations of that. Like that's why I'm happy, because like I get to experience this moment because of my gift, because I used my voice, because I used, my skills as a pianist or like as a brick, whatever. Like because I did like because I'm using that, because I'm expressing that, like I'm getting these opportunities. And that's also something that I want people coming up to know. Like I'm like, yo, damn, I'm an adult. I get to start telling people, yo, like this is life. But like I want you to know, like at 15, 16, 17, like bro, use your voice. Like you have a voice. Don't ever let anybody like tell you different. Like and I because I've been there. Like I was the one who did not use my voice, and then even when I did, like it's hilarious because as a vocalist, I can still sometimes think that I'm not as great as I know I am. You know what I mean? Like I may not feel
yeah.
as great as I know I am.
But you don't.
And so like thank you. But like, and so I'm just like, I know at that age I was also this dope, but I just never allowed myself to express it. You know what I mean? And so like I'm watching kids and I'm like, yo, please don't. Like I get it. You got shit going on and at home, you got shit going on in school. Like you have to be you through it all. Like that's the only way that you're gonna like survive in this world, is to just be you, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. and I love how just like getting in those spaces is like a journey for you where you're finding more growth at, and it's helping you be more confident into your craft and everything.
No, literally, like I will say, like even as a producer, like the reason why it's so easy for me to love it and fall in love with it is because it's literally using everything that I've ever wanted to learn into one. Like you mean to tell me I can sit there and play the bass real quick, throw that shit on loop, and then I can go hop on the drums and start a groove? Like
Yeah,
you they started a fucking problem, bro. Like, but like that,
you
it's
getting in the
everything
print
that I
bag.
am. I love music. I love doing. Nah, literally, like, oh, it was hilarious. I was like I feel like shout outs to my boss, man. Like I used to stay in his studio until like 1 a.m. and it'll be because like
Mm,
I'll be done with kind of everything, and like I'll end up just jamming out with myself, like I'll hop on like the OB, lay some pads down or whatever, and I'm like, yo, I hear a dope ass line that I can just put on the bass, and I'm like, do do do, and like I'm like, wait, I can hear the drums, and so then at
that's
like
dope.
12 to 1 a.m. you just like hear me vibing out like to my stuff, and I was like, this is my comfort, this is what I love, this is home for me, and like I'm in love. And so because I know that this is what I want to do, I'm like set, like there's nothing that can move my brain anymore.
Mm, yeah,
um,
I feel that the vibe, man, because that is like when you're in the creative space, it's like almost like your natural high. It's
mhm.
just I want every
Yeah,
so they can understand. Like
right. But that's the thing, bro. Everybody is a creative. Like
hmm
everybody is a creative, but like we get into this hierarchy of shit that you allow like people to just like kind of like tell you otherwise. You know what I mean? Like now I don't care if I literally know someone who like has such a creative like or diverse mind and I'm sorry, in arranging and production and composing, but like they only know how to play like maybe like a triad chord, if that. Like they can put two notes together and they hear the harmony. And so I remember sitting through and like saying, okay, play me whatever you know. Like you just play me what you know, and we're going to figure out what the song is. And they started to play these different things. And they're like, yo, I want this arrangement. This sounds so bright right here. And I'm like, okay, play that progression, keep playing it. And I'm hearing it. And I'm like, bro, this is a beautiful, like little 2-5-1 situation. Like, I see where you're going with this. And like, you may not realize that, like, and that's only because I decided to go and like study like the vocabulary for it. That's the only
Right,
reason why I can tell you that, you know what I mean? But that
right.
doesn't make me more of a creative. That just means that that's the language that I speak a little or whatever. And like you're gonna also be there, but you are creative, like that matters. You're doing the thing. And like
Yeah.
I don't know. So like I feel like everybody's a creative.
I mean, like I like you and Chris definitely. I'm
Mhm.
talking for people that don't know who the fuck I'm talking about. I'm talking about my best friend Chris Brewer, who was a saxophone player, and I've been on stage with too many fucking times to count in
I
jam
miss
sessions.
that dude.
He is so good at like just knowing notes and hearing notes and calling people out. Like you
Hmm.
two, like I learned a lot from you two on that. Like you're too you're what word am I looking for? You're well knowledgeable. That's the word I'm looking
Thank
for
you.
on making sure that you're playing what you should be playing and stuff
Thank
like that.
you.
Which I have noticed with learning how to read music, which I'm not good at all with. I'm very foggy in read music still, but when I can tell someone's off, I can tell somebody's off on certain parts. Not all parts, but certain parts.
Right.
But I never see that really with y'all at
Right.
all. And then when y'all notice, like you automatically fix it instead of staying in that same note that was incorrect. And I've
Hmm.
learned a lot just from watching that.
Right.
Like on how I'm supposed to play as well too. It's like I learned a lot off
Hmm.
of that.
Yeah.
I you'll be a great teacher if you ever decide like, man, I'm going to teach.
Right. Well, see, that's my fallback plan, which this is what, like, I feel like I'm in a weird ass, like, trust me, there's no way of breaking my peace anymore, because it's like, even like to me, it's like, if I don't want to be a full-time producer or whatever, and I want to try something else, or if I don't want to do like the creative portion or whatever, I know that I would be happy like mentoring people, because like, this is what they need access to. And even if I am doing it full time, I still can mentor people, you know, like, may not be able to teach a full-time classroom or whatever, but like, I just know that there will always be a way that I can do what I love in any form, you know? Like, I study
Yeah.
teaching, and so like, that's literally what I can do. Like, I hated Common Core curriculum, so I left that shit. I was like, no, we're not doing this. We're not going to be in the classroom. I'm like, I'm sorry, no. But you know, oof, man. I'm just like, who sits down and writes this shit for everybody? Like, I just want to know, like, who comes up with the curriculum? Like, put me in the room.
So
Yeah.
basically, what is Common Core? Let's side note real quick. What exactly is Common Core curriculum?
Yeah,
Just real quick.
it's like, like, so it's like the like, it's America's national standard curriculum for a
Okay.
K through 12.
Okay.
And so like, it's already written, it's the mandated curriculum that we all have to be on par with, whether you're in kindergarten, second, third grade. And so then that gets broken down into like all of your, you know, testing moments where you have like your SATs. I think that's in like your high school areas. Then you have like all of those like yearly testing things that happen in elementary school. And so what I did not like about that is, for me, I was in a classroom in Wyndham teaching students who had English as their second language. So their primary language was Spanish. I only know English and French, and that's on me. But I had literally like kindergarteners, first graders, and second graders who were like, okay, we only speak Spanish, but our curriculum is in English, and you're expecting them to also be here, in terms of like certain just like, even like being able to do base 10 things and multiplication things and stuff like that. You're expecting them to be at a certain stage, but they're reading these tests in English, they're not understanding it, and then they're failing it, and then you're saying, well, we can't go back and like do this, we can't deviate from this curriculum, so I'm sorry, we're going to keep moving forward, or this is the only other resource that they have. And then honestly, when you're like understaffed, when you're when you don't have a budget, there's barely any other resources that you can get. And so you are in, like, for me, I was in the space where the expectation was you had to be here. My students were very intellectual, but they just could not keep up with the testing. And so now they're either being held back, and now they're bored, and now they're, you know, and to me, I hate the word behavioral problems and things like that. But then that's where I was. It was like, well, this person is acting out. And I'm like, student A is only like acting out because they're bored, and acting out is not a bad thing. They literally have energy that they need to release. You're not letting them release it intellectually. You're not letting them release it physically. So like, now you're just at an impasse, and then you're putting them in detention, and like, you're already like stigmatizing them. And so that was the problem that I had. And I was only like first year, but I was like, can y'all not see this right now? And it was, to me, it was that they saw it and that they didn't care. And that's why I was like, I can't be in this. I don't want to teach Common Core. If I were to ever teach again, I would honestly like study more about Montessori, because I think that's really great. Or I would do homeschooling, and I would do community schooling, where I like teach the, you know, the elementary schools or elementary students like within my community, within my neighborhood, like things like that. Because I feel like that's a little better. And or even just going into like, I don't know, just other non-traditional ways of schooling and teaching.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, my camera's coming back, guys. Just for you know, my camera's being weird. I hit the cord by accident, so I just have to bring it back.
Oh my God, no, you're good.
I did not know that you were a teacher. That
Yeah, I only taught 1 year as a technically pre-service teacher, and I went out with a bang. No, I was like,
that
"Fuck
explains
you
why
and your
you're
mother."
so good at freaking music. Like it's just in you.
Oh no. Yeah,
That
like I
explains.
just love to learn them.
Huh?
I think that's it. Like, I don't stop myself from learning. That's literally it. Like,
Mm,
I think that's the natural part of me. I'm curious. I love knowledge. I love asking questions. I love thinking about like the meta shit in life. Like for me, that's where I am. So naturally, like learning comes easier because it's like
mm.
I'm inclined to do it. Um, but that's all it is. I feel like that's what you said, but
No, but like it's hard to like, I feel like a lot of people get stagnant at a certain time in life, where they're just like, this is the way
Literally,
it is,
bro.
how the hell I feel. And we have
Right.
to get back to like I call it like the kid phase where you just don't know ish, and you're just seeing everything
Exactly.
new, and it's like of course you got to know how to like work and pay bills
Right.
and budget and all that good stuff,
Right.
but like when it comes to everything else out there, just be like, no, I don't know about that, tell me more, like be curious about some stuff, like I
Right.
like learning from mad different things from so many people and stuff, and I think it helps
Right.
you more intellectually, and it makes you a better human being. Honestly, I don't want to sound judgmental
No,
if people think
literally.
different, but
No, like I agree with you 100%. And like I sometimes like my heart aches for people who literally will be like, I don't want to learn that shit. Because it's just like, wait, what? Like, why? I'm sorry. Like, let me not be like that person, but like, I'll just be like, I'm sorry, what? Because to me, knowledge is just like a beautiful gift. And one, don't come crying to me when you don't know the shit and then be like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, that's where it comes
Mhm.
from. Like, that's where I get angry. It's just like, you have the opportunity to learn something. Don't ever let this world tell you that you can't learn it, that you shouldn't learn it. Don't let them like shame you from learning shit. Like, to me, it's like, why wouldn't you want to know this shit? Like, if your
Mhm.
sink breaks, why wouldn't you want to know how to fix it? Wouldn't you be saving money? Like, wouldn't you be able to know if someone's ripping you off? Like, would it like there are so many things that you can do with knowledge. Like, it can
Mhm.
help you in so many areas. Why don't you use it? Um, and like, I'm not an ass. Like, obviously there are barriers and stuff, and like that's where my heart
Yeah.
aches. It's for people who like may not even see that it's been systemically like embedded, in
Mm.
them, like since they've been coming up to not like learning, to like associate learning with like whatever negative stereotypes, whether you're like a fucking nerd or like whether like it's just
Mhm.
not cool or shit like that. Like you grew up and that was embedded in your head and that's what you're sticking to and that's never going to allow you to grow. And like
Yeah.
I love what you said there, like about like the kid like nature, because I feel like that's the comment I get a lot. Like, bro, like I feel like everyone says it, like, yeah, how old are you? Because like you act super young, and it's just like, no, like I'm just a curious ass person. Like I will never, ever, ever in my life be like, I know this shit. Like I don't need to know anything else. No, like I am confident in what I do. I am really
Mm.
good at what I do, but there's so many things that I'm still learning. Like, and
Right.
like this is where like I get like nerded out. And like to me, I wish I went into engineering. Like actually
Mm.
engineering, I wish I studied past calculus because like understanding waveforms and understanding sound like as an actual physical thing is super important to me as a producer. It's actually super helpful for me. Like I'm using like freaking filters and like oscillators and
Mm.
shit, and I'm learning like how that is literally a science. I'm literally learning how like when the first recordings were made, it was like through wax. It was like literally picking up the vibrations. I'm like,
Oh
bro,
wow.
like literally, like I was like, why didn't
Wow.
I go into this? Right.
Yeah.
Like the first, like they would put this huge ass tube or whatever, and like you would like get close and you would like play into the tube and it'll like carry the vibrations and like print it onto wax. And I'm still learning about that. But it's just like literally like this is why we have like audio to digital converters, like 80 converters or whatever, because it's taking the physical form of sound, transforming it into something digital. And then you are allowed to be a scientist and fuck with that shit. And that's all we're hearing when we're listening to music. You are a scientist fucking with somebody's ears right now. Like understanding like panning as a producer, understanding like how, like honestly, like I'm a nerd out real quick, but like even for me, like when I'm actually like panning a song, I'll take my phone and like sweep it across from ear to ear, and then like I'll sit on one side, cover one ear, listen to that shit or whatever, and be like, okay, what is this ear like hearing? What is this ear hearing? How does that sound? Because what you're not realizing is there's a math that's coming in. There's an additive and subtractive thing that our body does. Like you hear something greater, it sounds greater on this side. There's more bass in it. There's like all this beautiful stuff. But if you're not hearing it on this side, it sounds more tiny. It sounds further away. It's like that stuff goes into your productions. You should be looking at that as a producer, as a singer, as a percussionist. Like these are the fun things to me, like that I love looking at. How does I don't know. So yeah, let me know.
That's amazing. I didn't know anything about how sound recording started. That's amazing.
And there's something else even before then. Like that's what I'm learning right now. It's like this is why like I just love it. Like I love this new field that I'm going into. Like
that's goes to show kids. I don't think kids listen to me, but that goes to show that literally, like, even when you're at 18 and you're sitting there, like, I have to think of a major, you're never going to know until you know what's right for you, obviously. Or trade or whatever you get into. You're never going to know.
Right.
And you were born for this. I know that you were born for this because, like, it's just awesome. Like, you know, from Hope Rocks and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like you have a great performance accent, basically, that I've saw. That's like very.
Wait,
like,
tell me more.
You control the crowd, all that stuff. Like I noticed this with you, that you have that what it takes to be a great performer, and not only be a great performer, but like a great musician and stuff like that. Just wow, performing and being entertaining, because it's something that's genuine inside you that I see. That's different from a lot of other people. A lot of people, there's a lot of boring people in the world. Let's just be honest.
Right.
You know, like I love, for instance, I would just say Rakim, the God MC, but he wasn't like Big Daddy Kane.
Nah, I get that though.
Flashy or all that stuff, or like, you know what I mean? Like you definitely keep the crowd interested.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Have you noticed any of that in your performances, or am I just sounding crazy?
No, I think for me, it's beautiful to hear, like, because I'm naturally who I am on stage. I don't want to say that, not all the time, but like for me, if I'm in my anger bag, if I'm upset, I'm a show that on stage. And I think for me, like, I show it all on stage. Like I only put it there. You know what I mean? And I think that's what you're experiencing. That's what you're saying is engaging. Like, and it's because I'm like allowing myself to go through, like, each song evokes a different emotion that I have felt, that I will for whatever. And so I embody that, and I allow that to like live within me, and then also allow that to live within the crowd and like the people that are around me. Because I think for, like, to me, it's always a healing journey. I don't care if I'm talking about all of us being sexy. I don't care if we try to heal through trauma. Like everything is a journey, a healing journey, and it's about self-love. And so I try to do that. And I think that's what you're feeling. And I don't know, that's beautiful to me.
Yeah, even the way you explain it just reminds me of how your EP sounds. Because I got that feeling off of what you were trying to give out, the journey. And and the emotion and all that and all that. I think it's very, you have a very good way of explaining it and storytelling it. And like
Thank you.
the poetry part, that was very interesting.
Oh, the one
Like
with Yex.
yes, yes. How you
I
fit
want to
that in? That was
remaster them.
mm-hmm. You want to
Okay, yeah, go
remaster it?
ahead. Finish what you were gonna say.
But I was gonna ask, like, what was your thoughts when you were coming on with this project with this EP? Madrid.
Yeah, yeah,
Did I say
yeah.
it right?
No, it's a myriad,
Married.
like a myriad of feelings. There, you said
Married.
Madrid. I was like, wait, I want to go to Madrid though. So like,
I
uh,
don't know why I said Madrid.
but you might just be.
Reminiscing, yeah.
But um, yeah. So like for me, one, how that particular piece, Black Noir, came about. Um, I don't think I don't know. We were going through a lot as a nation, and there were so many deaths of
Yeah.
Black men. Um, and so like, and I'm just talking about the instrumental right now. Like, so
Mhm.
I was like, for me, I was just like, I was in a space where I was just like, I feel like I want to go smack people. Like, I really just want to like run up on people right now because like I was angry, but then I was like, also like it's a weird thing for me because I have a very diverse group of friends. And I say that because there were so many people on different sides of everything. And as a person who like tries to have compassion, I truly do try to understand where everyone was coming from. So in that moment, I was like, as a Black person, I'm angry for my Black people. And then I hear like other people coming and saying, okay, well, this was also a part of their story. This was also a part of this. And I was like, well, why am I feeling conflicted right now? So like I was going through anger, I was going through confliction. And I think there was never a moment where I felt like anyone deserved any of this shit. It was just like
Mm.
having these conversations just kept bringing up so many different emotions. Like it was like I'm trying to advocate for my people while also trying to be a kind human being and compassionate and hear other people out. You know what I mean? And
Right.
like
Right.
that's how that song came about. So like I was like, I think it was just like let me see if I can actually, is my thingy on?
Oh yeah.
So like even, yeah, so I have my little bass guy out. So like that da na na da na da da na na da na
Yeah.
na da. That was like me just wanting to like punch somebody, like
I
and
felt
then
our
like
ancestors in that. Felt the
not
ancestors.
literally like that was that was a feeling. I was just like, yo. And so like I started with that, and then like it was like doom doo 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 doo. I see. It was like that part that came in later, and that was like that confliction of just like everyone's talking to me, like they're always saying like what is happening, I'm feeling conflicted. And so you just have those sections. And so I brought this piece to Yax, and I was like, Yax, you are the honestly, Yax is still the only poet that I fully trust with any instrumental of mine. Like it's like I can't get out of it, I don't know how to, but like it's also her spirit, like by far,
Mm.
I believe it's just beautiful. It resonates, it aligns with who I am.
Mhm.
And like I see so much in her that like I don't want to say I wish for myself, but like I grow into
Mhm.
for myself. And like we're just
Mhm.
similar people in a beautiful way. Um
Mhm.
and we're very different in such beautiful ways too. And
Mhm.
so like brought her this piece, and I was like, yo, I'm feeling like this for my for my people, just in general. Like I'm feeling this way. And I don't know how to say it in words. And so she then penned this beautiful piece on top of that. And
Mhm.
that's that. And so like for me, I even want to remaster that because as a producer, I hear the self-doubt in my arrangement and like how I mixed things in the moment because I didn't have the language and then like understanding on how to do certain things that I wanted to do. And then I just stopped doing it. And I was like, I can't confirm or deny. So I'm gonna just deny myself of this experience as a producer. And so like I want to go back and sit with that and say, no, there are some more pieces that I heard on this. I want to like position it this way. I want to pan it this way. I want to compress it this way. I think I'm gonna do that like at some point, especially for the upcoming EP that I want to release. That's gonna be fun. Like I want that to be reimagined and put on the next EP as well.
Yeah.
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 But
I
I
really
feel like
did
I gave you
love
a thank you.
No,
I feel like you
that's
asked me about
fine.
like the single and the EP, but like I had a whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like just like I felt just thinking about that poem, I felt that. And then like
Mhm.
then the next track after, and how you just vibe out and
Mhm.
play with a few sounds and stuff like that. Like it was really, really a groove, like something like a jam to.
Thank you. And that was actually me getting into sampling. So those sounds you hear, like
Mm-hmm.
those are just vocal samples, and that it's hilarious because I'm like sampling a lot more of my shit, and that now I know how to like do it, and I've confirmed I know how to do it now.
Mm-hmm.
But that was just me playing with that, like, and so that's beautiful to hear that you vibed. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think you were gonna vibe hard.
Because I'm thinking about everything that she said,
Mhm.
and like just as a black man and seeing what's happening.
Mm.
I don't want to go too far in the subject because I want to keep this to get promoted out there and stuff, and YouTube don't try to. Oh, I don't want
Right.
YouTube to delete nothing. So
Right. It would be like some misinformation in this bitch.
yeah,
He's like,
right.
all I
Just
said was
straight up.
hi. You
Just
have been
straight up.
misinformed.
They got me with something, man. They got me with something, man, and I'm still mad about that because I can't even fight it back. But whatever.
Damn,
But
bro.
yeah, it's getting on my nerves. But it's whatever. That's what I get for being so outspoken as a black man. That it's a little bit too difficult sometimes for me to monetize on certain ones. But TikTok don't give a shit. But anyway,
I love
um,
this is why I fuck with TikTok though. Like because like I've been able to have some conversations. I have like I don't want to say a private TikTok. I just don't. I'm like if you
mhm,
stumble on it, you stumble on it, but I'm never gonna
mhm,
give it out because it's
yeah,
it's my TikTok. But I'm not sure like I can talk about the most depressive shit, and
mm,
like I'm not saying that I'm suicidal, but I will talk about like suicide and like
mm,
how that feels for someone who has suicidal ideations and shit. And like, I just realized like TikTok does not take any of that shit down. If I post it on
yeah,
Instagram, they flag that. And I'm like,
black,
not for
straight up,
nothing, like as much as TikTok allows, it's helping to heal people, you know?
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
What were
TikTok
you gonna
definitely
say?
has a really good algorithm. I appreciate their algorithm and the things that they show,
Mm-hmm.
compared to what Instagram show and Facebook. It's like they're giving us a little glossy world,
Right.
and they're trying to make us be
Mm-hmm.
like, oh well, this is how it is. Everything is nice. Like if you look at France for a second on Instagram, they're showing all the beautiful things about France. Then you put in France on TikTok, yo, they going sick over there. You see it
Mm-hmm.
real. You see
Nah,
the real. They not even hiding it. They like, yo, they going
literally
sick over there
though.
to let you know. Like if you try to
Right.
go on vacation, you ain't gonna be
Right.
surprised that when something blow up and you at the coffee shop, just know you was warned because you was
Right.
on TikTok.
Right, right. I feel like they should just have like TikTok should be the dossier for any country. Like before you enter the country, look at its TikTok, bro. That's it. Look at the top most viewed videos. If it is of violence, do not go. Abort mission. Like you,
Give it a
like
second.
TikTok is true.
Yeah, man. Like
Right,
I noticed that.
right.
Like this
Because
dude did it
Instagram will
on
have you
YouTube.
thinking that you're going to
Yup.
Cancun at this point.
Right. Instagram would not show you. Instagram would be like, yeah, look at all these beautiful people just at the beach in
Hmm.
France. Yeah. Yeah, I want to go there. Let's go do that. And then you pull up
Nah,
like, oh,
literally.
guys. They didn't say this was going on. But yeah, I mean, hey, look, I forgot what we were talking about, by the way. I had a thought. Oh wait, your EP. Yeah.
This is like
So
also just
Oh, go ahead.
I love because this is a organic as fuck conversation right now. Nah, you go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Yeah. So the EP, so the song on your EP, "Love," like it seems like it was fun making that. It
Mm-hmm.
seemed very like serious, but it seems like it was like the dynamics in it is amazing. I had to put that on repeat a few times.
Thank you. Like it definitely. I'm not gonna lie. It was hella fun to make. It was so
Mm,
good. Like it was just me sitting with all of my fairy emotions, my like, whatever it was, just like being able to like sit with it and play with it. And I produced all of that on Logic, which was really fun. So being able to sit and produce on Logic and just like watching everything come in and being like, oh wait, I heard this piece in this song. I'm gonna take it, put it in another project, and like so that you'll hear like small little Easter eggs or whatever
mm,
from different like pieces on the EP and other tracks. And that was because I literally just I allowed myself like I sat and listened to my EP maybe 1,000 times before that shit was ever even put out. Because it was like I would always go back and be like, ooh, I want to do this. And then I'll listen to it all over again just to hear how that one little piece that I added sounded and fits everything.
mm,
So yeah, it was fun. It was so much fun to make. I think I feel like in my head I still call it the B side, but it's the track after Love. Or like that like outro piece.
mhm,
Um, that was a little more serious to me because like for me, I think I explored what it. I called it fear, but I also like on my end I call it the B side. But I called it
mhm,
fear, but it like explored just kind of like this moment within like all of the fun. Like I remember the EP was done, and I was like,
mhm,
wait, this piece right here. I feel like there's some underlining dark shit that I'm feeling and I want to explore it. And so then that's when you had like fear come out. And I think fear
mhm.
is love's opposite to me.
Yeah.
Like, and hate is also love's opposite, but like, I feel like, because I feel like, sorry, tangent, but love and hate are not actual opposites, but rather like, to me, you can't hate someone unless you didn't love them or unless like whatever. Um, but like, sorry, let me go back. But like with fear, so like for me, I felt like there was something about me loving or going through like this moment of like, I think I love you. I think this is what I'm feeling. But, you know, and that was that piece. That was the
Mm.
butt of it.
Yeah,
Ooh, excitement.
I love
Sorry.
the transition. It was a mood changer. It got me prepared for what was next, which was some
Mm-hmm.
all right, we gonna have a talk type of shit. Like like you went from,
Right.
oh, this is
Right.
fire, and then
Literally.
going right, mood changer, get ready. And
Right.
you're like, oh, what's
Right.
happening? And it goes right into Black Noir. Like I was feeling it. I felt the transition. I was like, okay, I see what they're trying to do right here. I see what they're trying to do right here.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it was
appreciate that. That's
yeah,
like
it was
I feel like that's my entire vibe. Like even for my
mm,
next EP, that's gonna be this shit too. Like I love connecting everything, and I love giving that energy. Like I am going to always love people, and now I feel like I'm also exploring that fact. Like no, but I'm also gonna come out fighting. You know, like you can get a
right.
little love, you're gonna get all of that feel good shit, but like there's a moment in time for that, and there's a moment in space for all of these other feelings that I'm sharing. And I think you're gonna hear more of that on this next EP, where it's like I'm living
Mm,
in this space of just being sexy, of just being free, of just being angry sometimes. Like the unmitigated anger that I have experienced for myself. Like you're gonna like it's gonna be fun, but like I feel like people need to allow themselves to feel something. You know what I mean? And I
right.
want to give people a space within music to do that. Like I never feel like music should at all always be, like watered down. Like I never feel that way. Like no, you need to feel all your feelings. There's a safe way. There's a way to love yourself and still be angry. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like, I'm always going to allow myself to explore that shit, and that's going to be on the next EP.
Yeah, so what are you thinking? Well, when you thinking
Yeah.
that's gonna be ready? Is because I'm excited to, or do
Right.
you do it like how like Jada Kiss does it? Like
Uh-uh.
you just when you're ready, you're ready. You don't care.
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Oh, I was thinking. I was
I don't
asking.
know why
When
you're
do you
like
think the
breaking up a
next?
little bit.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Uh-uh.
Nothing.
Oh wait, yes, now I can.
Okay, perfect.
You're good now.
Okay, so I was
Yeah.
asking, when do you think you're gonna drop your next EP? Or is it still a process for you, or
Yeah.
you have like a
It's
deadline?
still a process. Yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
it's a process.
Word.
I wanted it out by October. It's literally okay. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But I do know that I'm releasing snippet 2 at the end of this week on
Oh,
Bandcamp and
nice.
SoundCloud first. And then yeah, next week it's going to be out on all platforms. And what Alec and I are now doing together, actually no, I'm gonna spill the whole tea at this point. But no, because like I feel like I've been working on something for the past few months. That's been my baby. And I've been grateful to stumble on a studio space. And that was like even through Joris Caceres. He was just like, bro, there's a space that I'm doing some sound design in. Come check it out. And me and Diane have been really working closely together, just to like reimagine what the space is like. And I'm really grateful because basically I'm able to now produce with Arta Falconberry, with my bandmates again, and actually do mixing with Alec. And Alec is also a producer who's on the LA coast. And so you're going to see us over the next few months really build out this EP, really produce for other artists. We have like already
Awesome.
3 artists that we're going to be working with, right?
Nice.
And so like I'm just excited for that. Like we're really, and I'm. This is what Bridgeport needs. One, like this is what Bridgeport needs. This is what New Haven needs. This is what Connecticut needs. And one, and two, like I really don't feel like there's enough queer people in these spaces. And like it's going to be a fight, I know, but I also want to create a space for everyone, but that's respectful and will hold up my people to the highest esteem. And that we're going to honor my people, and they're not going to be treated as if they are. No, they are human. And they will be
Mm-hmm.
deserving of the honor and respect in the studio the same way you give it to other people. And so I want to be able to foster kind of that narrative in spaces. And so like this is why I'm really excited. Like I've been really sitting here for months, like making sure I have a good plan, making sure I have artists, making sure that I am comfortable as a producer and engineer within myself. So that way we can start this work, you know? You
That's
know.
absolutely that's absolutely
uh,
awesome. We
yeah.
need that. Like you said, we definitely
Yeah.
need that, and I'm glad that this is something that you're able to like help start put into motion, because all it takes is just one person that could just butterfly into existence for all over the place, like you
Exactly.
said, for New Haven or Hartford, stuff like that. I see a lot of queer artists that are out there doing the work and
Exactly.
24/7, and it's just they get pushed back when
Mhm.
the cisness. I'm sorry that my cis people act this way. Like they're like it
No,
just
literally.
what the hell, man? Like I feel bad. I'm
Right.
just like, and then you see the blatantness when they try to like be subliminal on social media, and I'm
Right.
just like, we know what you're trying to say. Like, don't even
Right.
like don't
Right.
you a coward. We
Right.
know what you're trying to say. We're just gonna take note of that.
Yeah. Right. Nah. Be like, just write it. Not honestly, this is when you have to have a notebook and just be like, all right, cool. You know? And I like
Like,
little
all right,
share
bet.
notebook, you just note it.
I know not to go over there. And we need
Literally.
that dominating
Literally.
space where it's
Literally.
like this is who we are, and if you come here to enjoy our music, you This is, you
Mm.
better respect us as human beings, because they see that, especially with Black culture.
No,
Everyone
no.
loves Black culture, but no one cares about our lives. They'll talk like us. They'll repeat our slang words. Everyone,
Mm-hmm.
like, this is not even just say a one
Right.
culture that takes it. This is the problem with America. Like, everybody, we say we're a melting pot, but like, they
Mm-hmm.
literally exploit how we
Mm-hmm.
talk, and they love our attitudes and all this stuff. And then they just want to say, "Oh, it's a hashtag," and don't care anything else about us. Like, so
Right.
we need to be.
Exactly.
We gotta have those spaces,
Right.
especially for queer people, because it's the same thing for queer people. Like,
Exactly.
think of all the women that like copy terms that some gay person said, like that, like 24/7, just
Bro, you
copying.
hear it,
Somebody.
and like there's this like rise of just like everyone loving dance music, everyone loving
Right.
like voguing and shit. But you're not respecting the people who gave you this shit. Like you're
Yeah,
not respecting
Vogue,
them at all.
exactly. Right.
Right.
People still
Like
vote.
so like
Sorry, I'm cutting
right.
you off. I'm
Oh
messing up your thought.
no no no, you're good. There's also I'm realizing there might be a lag. So I think that's what's
Oh.
happening too. um But like, nah, literally, like, and I love it. Like, I'm here for the visibility. But if we're gonna like use a culture, like, not even if we're gonna use a culture, one, respect everybody's culture, give
Right.
them the platform, like, let them be the leaders of this movement that you're trying to start. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
what? I don't know. To me, it's
Right.
basic, but like for everybody else, it's so hard for them to fathom. Like, so
Right.
hard for some reason.
Yep.
Uh,
I totally agree. It is. And that's why I'm so down for what you have in plan in store. And definitely I'm going to be sharing it and all the stuff when I see it out there and stuff like that. Let me know,
yeah.
because there's just so many people, like, even like kids that I've seen,
Mhm.
like no,
Mhm.
just teenagers, like queer teenagers that need spaces that I hear about. Like,
Right.
um they need to, like, they need to be able to have a place where everyone is majority of that is like them and they are respected, and then they need to have a place where they have people that that can help them defend them and be safe when someone
Exactly.
is after them or attacking them. um it's the isolation is just so scary. So we need to
Yeah.
start building those communities, and only we could do it. Only we
Mhm.
can do it. So you're
Right.
definitely a leader, yo. I love it, Finn. You're definitely
I'm
getting it
trying
done.
to be. I'm trying to be like my thing is like because like and I'm also trying to learn to be the leader that is needed, but that is also aligned with who I am. Because like I used to feel
Mhm,
bad because I'm like very nomadic, so I'll be
mhm.
starting shit and then I'll just like just flutter off somewhere, and it's not because I'm abandoning anything, but it's like I'm trying to like start something and I want it to still blossom, and I also want to like blossom in another space too. So I want to continue to carry these things with me, and so I'm really glad that I do have a team that's helping me like continue to like do the things that I want to do, like be able to like be bi-coastal and keep going back and forth from LA, but also starting this and building a camp of people that can continue the work. So it's not just me, like I'm not the only person that has stake in this, like there are
Right,
other community members, and like this space is for all of us, whether I'm in the space or not, like it's for us and it's going to be made by us. So like that's
right.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm right with you on that. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I see that we went past the hour. I'm like, oh
I
man, I'm going past the hour. That's how
yeah.
you know this is great. This
Right.
is
And
literally great.
I never reapplied once my lip gloss, bro. This is how you know the conversation was clutch. Forgot to reapply this shit. Out here just dry as fucking
Well, you're fine. Yo, tell them where they can find you, Finn, and shouts out
Yeah.
to any other people that you want them to look up as well too.
Oh my god, yes. Okay, one, y'all can find me at Finn.theScientist, so Finn period the scientist. I'm on Instagram right now. I am also you're gonna have to just find my TikTok if you find it. I'm really weird about that. I'm like, like if God leads you to it, then you are meant to be there. Because that's where I do talk about my real shit. Like I talk about my mental health, my own mental health, my own process in LA, and stuff like that. But it's like it's meant to be like a discovery. Like this is needed for those who need it, kind of thing. And then also, please follow Art of Huckleberry. That is the production. That's the production page on Instagram, and The Session. Those are my 3 babies together. Like I'm trying to build this beautiful thing with Avery Collins, 70&3. Follow him. He's a drummer. Be on the lookout. Trying to build with him, with Grant Eagleson, with Vibe Out Music, who's Alec. Like we're really just trying to build a beautiful ass team. And I'm very thankful to Sweetheart Studios. That is the building that we're in, which is great. And so like, yeah, please be on the lookout. If you are on any of those social medias, you'll be able to keep up with anything that I'm doing. You're going to see my releases be posted on there. You're going to see just like all the things I'm doing in the studio space. We're going to have a nice little launch party where we're going to paint and sip because I need to do a little paint job. And I think that's also going to be a beautiful community experience. Like, so yeah, follow my medias, man. Like, let's get it bobbing, bro. You know?
Yeah. I love paint and sipping.
Right. No, we're truly on paint. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have the full Home Depot ass shit in there. Y'all gonna get a wall and y'all gonna paint. But I swear, I'm gonna have some rum punch. All right, I'm gonna have some wine. You're gonna be able to be drunk and do it, but it's gonna get done.
Nice. That's always fun.
Right. I'm being like, I don't know. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Finn. And for everyone that's listening, please like, share, subscribe. I'm going to try to get back to pushing out only on Fridays instead of just doing it on random days. We're going to try Fridays again, or maybe Sundays. But I will let people know. So
no, I like Friday. Friday hit with my Sando, bro. Let's do Friday.
So we're gonna do Fridays because this is gonna be dope. So definitely keep a lookout. I don't even know why I'm saying Fridays right now because I'm not even live. So I'm gonna have to edit that part out. But please like, share, subscribe. And if you like what you're hearing, and check out Finn, they have so much great music. So you're not going to be disappointed. Check out Finn's band and have a very good day. You.
Wait, can I take a screenshot?
Yeah.
I was gonna say in lieu of a selfie. Is that like a? Hey, did it? Hey. Nah, thank you though for like creating the space. Like also this is just like super comfortable. Like this is honestly a vibe. Like I feel like I was able to actually speak about the shit that I wanted to speak about. So thank you.
Word. I'll see you soon, my friend. Have a really good day.
You too, friend. Peace.
Blank period, yeah. On my black, brown, and indigenous. Gotta holla if you really feeling this. Gotta holla if you really real enough. Other rappers is delirious. Yeah, it's really that serious. Better holla if you really feeling me. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna live in abundance. I gotta keep it 100, ayy. If you don't like it, then fuck it, ayy. We gonna win in the end, yeah, we gonna. I gotta keep it 100. We gotta stop all the stunting. You know we coming from nothing. Yo, you talking about money, you bluffing. We gotta do something different. We gotta change how we live in. We gotta do better for women. We gotta do better for children. We gotta listen to victims, whether Jewish or Muslim or Christian. It doesn't matter your religion. You gotta stand against the system, or else you just another